morning, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Awakening Ways Spiritual Community. It's wonderful to see everybody today. You know, it's a new month. We went back to probably our last year ever of having standard time. And so it's always interesting the first week or so to get used to it, isn't it? I'm Dr. Frank Zamalan. Dr. Terry and I want to welcome you. Awakening Ways is a New Thought spiritual community in the lineage of Dr. Ernest Holmes. We're a community that believes that there's a golden thread of truth and love that winds its way through all great spiritual traditions. And that thread of truth and love is the thread that says that God is present within us, that the divine is ever present in everything in the world, for it is creating it out of itself. That it is in us, it is us, and that it continues to create this universe that we live in every single moment. Our universe, our personal universe, is being created through us because God can only do for us what God can do through us. Here at Awakening Ways, in the ordinary times, we try to help each of us to awaken to that divinity within us through classes, workshops, Sunday gatherings over at the pavilion, wonderful music, uplifting talks. But we can't do that now. And we also, usually have classes and group meditations and workshops, individual one-to-one counseling. But right now we're limited to what we can do through Zoom. And this is one of the things that we can do through Zoom. So it is with great pleasure that I welcome all of you today. If you're new, if you haven't been here before, I especially want to welcome you. Wherever you came from, wherever you go when you leave here, for right now, for this blessed moment, welcome home. We've been waiting for you. As we move into the consciousness of spirit, allowing it to move through us, I invite you to join me with your eyes closed as we pray. I know that the divine is in all as all. It is forever bringing into fruition more and more of itself through each of us as we awaken to its presence within us. I know that that is my truth, that I am that divine having this frank experience, and that it's true for each person on this call this morning. I know that Dr. Terry, as she speaks from that heart of pure love and pure presence. I know that the musicians, as they perform for us this morning, channel that pure harmony of spirit to us, for us. And I know that each of us here today hears what we need to hear and walks away knowing what we need to know to get through these next few days of discomfort and stress. I know this for all of us, and I give thanks for it. I give thanks for spirit moving through us all. And I especially give thanks for this gathering this morning and spirit moving through it right here and right now. I know that this is already whole and complete. There's nothing more I need to do but release it and let it go. And I do that now. And so it is. Namaste.
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Namaste. The light and love of the divine in me honors and greets the light and love of the divine in each and every one of you here this morning. First Sunday in November. This year is moving along. Only one, well, this month and then one more month of 2020. I think we'll all be grateful when this year is over. It's been such a tumultuous year. How many things have gone strange this year? It's incredible. But I love this month of November because this is the month of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, it's a wonderful month, and Thanksgiving is such a wonderful holiday. It's really my favorite. And I know I've talked to so many people, and they say the same thing, that really for me and for many people, Thanksgiving is really the only legitimate holiday there is in terms of wanting to celebrate, because it's not about gifts or parties or anything like that. It's just about getting together with people you love and you care about, and joining together and sharing a meal, and being grateful for what you've been given. So it's a lovely, lovely month. And our seed of awakening for this month is appreciation. And so actually, I looked up the definition of appreciation. Not that I don't know what it is, but I was curious to see what the dictionary might say about the word. And basically, it just simply said it was another word or expression for gratitude or giving thanks. So when we say I'm so grateful, or I'm so thankful, or I appreciate it all so very much, we're basically saying the same thing. It's just a different way to say it. It's about gratefulness. It's about gratefulness. And as a spiritual practice, I think you probably all know this, that gratitude is like at the top of the list in almost every spiritual tradition there is. Gratitude is a spiritual practice that almost every faith-based community uses. And there's a reason for that. It's such a powerful, powerful energy, this energy of gratitude. And I want to just kind of begin talking about, for me, some of the benefits of appreciation, both itself and as a spiritual practice. So what does appreciation do? Well, appreciation opens the doors to the heart. When we are grateful, when we move into a sense of appreciation, our heart just opens. And you can feel it. You can feel it in yourself when you feel gratitude, and you can feel it coming at you from someone else. You can feel their heart opening. Gratitude has a way of doing this. Gratitude allows and appreciation allows compassion to awaken and flood within us a loving kindness that maybe we didn't even know we had. You know, when we're grateful, when we are touched, when we are moved, and it opens us up, and we feel so thankful in that moment, our compassion opens as well. Our heart compassion for ourselves and for others. We just begin to soften and see things in a new way. Look at people and situations in a new way through the heart of compassion. And another thing it does is it can soften prickly edges around relationships. You know, in staying with this idea of opening our hearts to the heart of compassion, if we are in gratitude and we are feeling this sense of compassion within us, if we're having stressful relationships and we can be in this energy of appreciation and gratitude, kind of it smooths things out and allows communication to open and be more fluid. Appreciation can heal us and lift us out of whatever condition we're experiencing. Now, does it make it all go away? Maybe. But you know, if we're not feeling well, if we are in pain, if we are, it's in a sense of lack and limitation, if we're angry, if we're in fear, if we're feeling grief, when we can move into a sense of appreciation, we find ourselves lifted out of and from that condition or that experience. Maybe it only lasts for a while, for a bit, but then we just return to it. It is a practice. And appreciation is so powerful in helping us move out of those painful situations. Appreciation is a direct channel to union and intimacy with the divine. Oh, if you sit in prayer, you know, with Meister Eckhart, you know, if thank you was the only prayer you ever said, it would be enough. If you just sit in prayer and it's a prayer of gratitude, notice how close you feel to God in that moment. There's nothing between you and the divine when you're practicing gratitude. It is just an open energy space that allows that sense of union and communion to take place. Powerful. And also, it can shift our perspective. It can shift it in a really big way. We can do a 180 with gratitude. It can shift us in a moment when we become grateful. And actually, I want to share that for me, I kind of feel this 180 shift happening in my life right now within me. You know, I've been a little low. I've been a little sad. I've been a little whiny, all of that. But frankly, I've been missing myself. Okay. I miss Terry. Where the heck has she gone? And I'm beginning to return to myself, and I've missed that. And it's because of a lot of things. But I have to say that this week I came across this question, an amazing question that I'm going to share with you. And it was asked by author and Episcopal priest Barbara Brown Taylor. And she asked this question. She said, "What is saving your life right now? What is saving your life right now?" Wow. Okay, first of all, after I caught my breath after reading the question, because it's so shattering and shaking, and you know, you just, it moves you out of wherever you are. What's saving your life right now? Once I sat with it for a while, I began to find that things were rising in me, that there were indeed things that were saving my life right now. And those things that were saving my life right now are contributing to my shift, my 180 shift. And so I know that the people I love and the people that love me back are saving my life right now. All of the love that I have been receiving from so many people are saving me, lifting me, healing me. Trees and birds. I single those two out because at the moment, those are my two saving graces right now. Trees and birds are saving my life right now. I can look at trees and I can look at birds and I feel alive and I feel uplifted. They're saving my life now. And returning and deepening to my own spiritual practices. It's not that I haven't been doing my spiritual practices, but I've kind of backed off of them because I couldn't feel. I was like numb. But now I'm returning to that. And it is absolutely saving my life. Powerful question, yeah? So each of the things and each of the people in those things that are saving my life are actually in my life right now. Literally, they're in my life and they are present and I experience them and I feel them right now in my heart and in my mind. And of course, we're talking about appreciation. I appreciate them beyond imagining. There's not enough words to express my gratitude. Now, was I actively seeking these things to come to me, to come into my life? These things? No, not consciously. I was not. They just seemed to arrive when I was ready. When I was ready. There's a biblical quote. It's so famous. It's used in almost every spiritual tradition I know also as well. And the quote is, seek and you shall find. And the words may be phrased differently, but that is the basic message. Seek and you shall find. Well, here's the truth. The act of seeking does not always bring us to a place of finding. Seeking is looking for something in the future, and usually it's just out of reach. It's just out of reach, and we're seeking it. You know, we could live our whole life seeking some desire and never find it. Really, it is in the finding that we experience appreciation. And it doesn't mean that there aren't times that when we seek, we find, because we absolutely do. But finding can also happen spontaneously, just like it did with me. I wasn't actively seeking any of those things. And yet, I woke up to find them in my life spontaneously. So here's the thing. If we're spending a lot of time seeking and striving and trying to achieve and to progress and to have, where is there time or space left to even feel gratitude and appreciation? We're so busy out there working it, trying to make it all happen. And if that's true, then what does that say about us when we define ourselves as a spiritual seeker? A spiritual seeker, does that mean that, we're wasting our time on our spiritual path. Not at all. But what it does mean is that we need to take a look at our seeking, because what I've done this. I do it. And that is that we spend a lot of time seeking that next perfect, great book that's going to change our life, or seeking the next inspirational teacher that's going to change our life, or the inspirational teaching that's going to change our life, or the inspirational practice that's going to change our life. We keep seeking that, and without taking the time to realize that in order to live a spiritual life, we have to be living it. We have to be experiencing it. We have to be being it. We have to be awake and aware of being part of this endless flow of life that's going on all around us. We have to be awake and aware and see and hear and feel to be able to fully experience life. We literally have to find life for ourselves. And finding is not seeking. I often think about Thoreau. Here is a man who was committed. He goes and takes his notebook and goes off into the woods, into the tiniest of cabins. And he just, I've seen pictures of it. It's just a little cot on one side, and there's a little desk, and there's a fireplace there to warm him, and I think there's a window there, and it has a little porch that he can sit on. And he went there, he said, his own words, to live deliberately. He went to the woods to live deliberately, and not only to just observe the world around him, because he did that. That's what he did. He sat on his porch and observed it. But it was more than that. It was to become part of the life around him. I think of him as truly one of the greatest finders that's ever been, because what he did was he sat on his porch and he found what was around him. He just became aware, and he allowed that finding to come to him. Finding is a very personal thing. And he allowed the finding to take him over and to possess him day in and day out for all of the time he was there, the Walden Pond. Author and United Church of Christ minister Holly Whitcomb, she said this: when we engage in finding, we recognized with humility and with wonder that the universe contains possibilities beyond our powers of imagination. Seeking means working to gain something that's always ahead of us, but finding means celebrating what's already here. Celebrating what's already here. How personal is finding? Well, finding is so personal that everyone finds something different. So finding is just letting yourself be open to what is there. It's not analyzing it. It's not calling it anything unless you choose to call it something, which is fine. But it's allowing it to come to us rather than seeking to go out and find it. It's observing what's already here and appreciating it. Appreciating what is already here. Holly Whitcomb has this word that she uses, and I love it so much. And this is the word, and it's perfect for this month. The word is savor. savor. So she suggests that we find what's there for us to find. We find what we love, and then we hold it and we savor it. Now, whether it's holding it in our hands, holding it in our minds, holding it in our hearts, it doesn't matter. We savor what we find. Because whatever it is that we find is what has been offered to us right here in this present moment. Finding is a present moment experience, isn't it? It's a very much of a mindfulness practice. Moving, as we've been talking about, mainly me, moving from one house to another has brought me many, many lessons. I've shared many of them here, ad infinitum, and on and on. And some of the lessons have been wonderful, and some of them have been, well, they've all been wonderful, but some of them have been painful, and some of them have been joyful. But when you move, or even when you just do deep cleaning, and you get in there and you dig into that stuff that you haven't seen for so long, you find things that you forgot about. And that's happened. I have found so many tiny, small, little sweet things. I love elephants, and I collect elephants, and way too many elephants, right? Let me say that. But I had, for a while there, I collected just these little ones, and they were antique elephants. They weren't, so I looked for them long and hard. And then they would just show up, and I would buy these tiny little elephants. Well, I don't have a place to put them all, and I never have really. So I just carefully put them away. And then as I was unpacking, I found them all. And each one is so sweet. And I truly, to use that word savor is the perfect word. I truly savored every one of them. And so what I did was I have this little round glass bowl, and I put all of these little elephants in this glass bowl. And so now I have this bowl full of elephants, bowl full of elephants. And they're right up on this cabinet behind me. And whenever I walk by, I just smile because there they are. And they're all crammed in on top of each other. Some of them are upside down, some of them are sideways. It doesn't matter. I savored them, and it was a finding for me, and a wonderful, wonderful experience. Sue Monk Kidd has this great story. She's really good about telling stories about her own family. And this was a story about her daughter, Anne. And Anne was 6 years old at the time of this writing. And Sue was saying that it was Christmas time, and she noticed that under the tree, she and her husband noticed that under the tree, Anne had put 2 presents, one for Daddy and one for Sue, for her mom. And, Sue and her husband were saying, 6 years old, what could possibly be under that tree? What has this child put under the tree? So Christmas morning came, and Sue and her husband reached down, and they took out the package that Anne had given to them. And Sue unwrapped her package, and she opened it to find this pair of vaguely familiar silver earrings. And then her husband opened up his package, and he opened up this navy blue tie with beige ducks on it. Okay, so Sue looked at Anne, and she said, "Oh, honey, Anne, wherever did you get these gifts that you gave us?" And she said, "Oh, the cedar chest." And that's when Sue understood that the reason those earrings looked familiar was because 10 years ago, she had put those earrings, she had retired them, she said. She had retired those earrings to the cedar chest. And of course, the navy blue tie with the beige ducks had also been retired to the cedar chest. But Anne had found them, and she brought them out and she gave them to her mom and daddy. And Sue and her husband got to savor and re-experience something they already owned, something they already possessed. And it was a wonderful lesson for them. It's a wonderful lesson for all of us. You can do the same thing, look around your house, look in your closets. Find some hidden treasures that you already own. And when you find them, savor them, right? Savor them. Allow yourself the full experience of finding this thing and savoring and appreciating exactly what you already had. You didn't have to go anywhere. You didn't have to buy anything. You already had this remarkable thing. Another thing you can do if you want to find something wonderful is to find what's holy in your life. This is a wonderful spiritual practice. You don't even have to go in your cupboards to find what's holy. What's holy? This is a gentle practice. And so we're not really seeking what is holy. What we're doing is we are just looking at what is already there and allowing ourselves to call what's there holy, whatever it is that we see, that moves us, that we choose to call holy. I have a couple of blankets, and I call these blankets holy. I call them holy because whenever I have these blankets on me, I feel like I'm covered in the divine. I feel like I'm wrapped in the arms and the energy of the divine. They are just filled with wonderful energy. I have my own blankies, and Frank has his own blankies, and we don't use each other's blankies because his blankie is holy to him and mine is holy to me. And it makes I savor them, and I use them almost every day. I mean, sorry, but I have to have it. The other thing that I treasure and that I savor is, of course, my cat, Gabriel. We have two wonderful cats. Gabriel kind of is my cat, and Annie Mae is Frank's cat. But I truly call this cat holy. He is all Gabriel all the time. And he is exactly as God made him. And he's beautiful. He's beautiful. And he is so holy. And all I have to do is look at him, pet him, see those beautiful, remarkable eyes. And I know I'm looking at something holy, and I savor that. I savor that. So what in your life is holy? We're finding new ways to find this morning. Many of you are familiar with Abraham Hicks materials. I know some of you are very familiar with the Abraham Hicks materials. And the first practice that's listed in the book, the first book, Ask and It's Given, is a practice called a rampage of appreciation. A rampage of appreciation. Now, years ago, actually, Frank and I taught a little short class on this book. And so I remembered the activity from years ago, but I forgot about it. And so I found it again, yay me. And it's just the most wonderful practice. It's different than doing like a gratitude list. Most of us probably do some kind of gratitude Thanksgiving thing, maybe right before we go to sleep, giving thanks for 3 things, or just giving thanks for what happened during the day. Rampage of appreciation is a little bit different because in this, you look around you, you are present and your eyes are open, and you look at something that is pleasing to you. You could do this at a stoplight, really. You look at something that's pleasing to you, and then you speak out loud, or if you're if you can't do that, you say it in your mind, but you speak out loud the things about this pleasing thing that you appreciate. So, for example, there's a lamp in here, and I love this lamp. I love the colors, and I appreciate the way the light, when the light shines through this lamp, the shade, it softens things. It creates a softer light. I appreciate that. I love the shape and I love the style of it, and I appreciate the beauty that this lamp brings to my living room. Okay, I'm doing a rampage of appreciation. I'm just appreciating this one thing. Now, when I have finished my rampage of appreciation for that thing, I can look at something else in the room and I can do exactly the same thing. And think of how long you can spend in just appreciating any one thing and then shifting to another thing. Think of how much time you're spending in this higher vibration of gratitude, thankfulness, and appreciation. And remember that appreciation, the energy of appreciation, is the energy that connects us to the intimacy with the divine. And so all that time that we're spending in appreciating is expanding our hearts and strengthening our connection to the divine. It also keeps us out of any kind of negativity or out of participating in any kind of unpleasant experiences or conversations or anything like that. You can do this in your own mind. It's a powerful tool. And the other thing is that the more things you appreciate, the more things you find to appreciate. It's just the way it works. So, as a finder, because we're becoming finders now, right? We want to be finders. We want to shift away from being seekers to looking for things to becoming finders. And as finders, we can choose to savor and appreciate whatever we want, whenever we want. We can find and savor beauty or joy or love or stillness. Think of all the things that you can find, appreciate, and savor. And this is the month to do this. And beyond, I want to say that we're building our spiritual toolbox so that these tools just become available 24/7, 365. So we can do this whenever we want. And in our teaching, we teach in foundations and in almost any beginning new thought teaching, you're taught to look for the good. Look for the good. Remember that in any given situation? Well, I want to change that and say that let's begin to be finders of the good. Finders of the good that's all around us. And that just means that we become porous, that we become open, that we become available to find what's there for us to find, that is good, that is beautiful, that brings us joy, and that we can appreciate any moment of the day. Let's do that. Let's do that this month. Become a finder and appreciate what you find. Before I leave this morning, I want to just check in with everyone. I want to ask how people are doing, and I'm not opening up the mics, but I'm just looking to see how people are doing with the elections that are coming up. You doing okay? Feeling stressed? Nobody, yeah. Thank you. You people who are saying yes. Thank you. Okay, well, here's the thing. Let me find my notes here. elections, this is my belief, that elections have the ability to harden the heart. And I really mean that, because when we will harden ourselves to for our own safety, you know, we close ourselves off to protect ourselves. And it creates a sense of separation. But I wanted to remind us all that no matter who we are supporting, no matter who we're supporting, it's important to understand that everyone in this nation is wanting the same thing. Everyone in this nation is feeling the same thing. It doesn't matter who you're supporting. Everyone is feeling the same thing. Everyone is seeking to feel safe. Everyone is seeking to feel secure. Everyone is seeking peace and kindness. Everyone is seeking this. Remember that, okay? Because this is an election. And someone will win and someone will lose. And those who supported the person who won, they're going to celebrate. They're going to party. They're going to have a great time. And well, they should. And the people whose candidate did not win will still feel those feelings of not feeling safe, of not feeling secure, of not feeling at peace. They will still feel that. And so I want to remind us all that no matter what happens, it is up to us as people of consciousness to remain in a state of compassion. I'm not saying you have to go out and do anything. I'm just saying stay aware. Stay aware and recognize that we really are one nation. And so if we can keep our minds focused on an open heart, compassion, loving kindness for everyone as one nation, then we are inviting and we will find the light of spirit throughout this entire process. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. And so, you know, as the days and the hours tick by, I just want us all to remember that we can hold to the light, and we can remember that even if we don't support the same person, we're all seeking the same things. And the other thing is, since it was a perfect morning for this, if you start to feel like you're going sideways, like you're falling into the negativity, you're falling into the fear, you're falling into the anger, the grrr, you know, whatever you want to call it, this is the time to find something in your life, in your world, to appreciate. Anger, judgment can't take up the same headspace when you're doing appreciation. There's only room for that. And so that love and that kindness, that gratefulness, thanksgiving will keep you in good mindset, good heart set throughout this experience. It will be over. There will be something happening, and we will all move through this together. I'd like to just offer a little brief closing prayer. If you could join me for just a moment. And just allow your eyes to close. And feel that appreciation for the ability to be in this velvet soft darkness. And know too that behind closed eyes, there is always a light shining. That light is always in us, as us, and it is the light and the love of the divine that dwells within us. And if we need to be reminded, we just simply close our eyes and call it forth and remember. And we appreciate that so very much. And so we recognize that the divine gifts are ever present. So many uncountable things to be grateful for and to appreciate. And during this time, we open up our hearts and our minds, and we find space in our minds and hearts to take as much of this goodness in as we possibly can hold. And we savor it all. And the more we experience, the more we experience. And our days become more and more full of things to appreciate. And I am grateful for that. I'm grateful for the ability to find things to appreciate. I'm grateful for the ability to spend time with people I love. I'm grateful for the ability to live in a country that allows us to vote in freedom. I'm grateful that we live in one nation, and it is a beautiful one indeed. And so knowing that everything is moving in the light of love and peace, that it is all guided by that divine presence. I just release my word now. I let it all go in absolute joy, knowing it is all already whole, perfect, and complete. So be it, and so it is. Namaste.
I heard the newsman say we're gonna go to war. Let's do a little damage and even up some score. I heard the newsman say life is getting hard. Dare not trust your brother and don't let down your guard. Well, that is true. There's only one thing left for me to do. I'm gonna hold the high watch. I'm gonna dream a better day. I'm gonna hold the high watch and start a peaceful revolution. I'm gonna hold the high watch, meditate and pray. I'm on a mission. Yes, you say I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission of peace. I heard the newsman say something's going down. Ain't enough prosperity to go around. I heard the newsman say terror's on the rise. Look and see the fear in everybody's eyes. If that is true, there's only one thing left for me to do. We better hold the high watch. I'm gonna dream a better day. I'm gonna hold the high watch and start a peaceful revolution. I'm gonna hold the high watch, meditate and pray. I'm on a mission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission of peace. In my mind is how it's meant to be. start a peaceful revolution. I'm gonna hold the high watch, meditate and pray. I'm on a mission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission. Oh yeah, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission. A mission of peace.
Thank you, Jimmy. It was wonderful. As always, I love that song. I always have. And it sounds like you've changed the melody a little bit. It's really, really cool. I like what you did with it. Thanks to Reverend Terry, Dr. Terry. It was a wonderful talk today. And if you're interested in hearing that talk again to review those things she taught you about having a rampage of appreciation, don't forget that it'll be on YouTube like day after tomorrow. As soon as Ron gets it to me, I'll get it on YouTube, and that usually is like Tuesday morning. So it was a wonderful talk today. Thank you, Terry. Reminder that even though we're doing everything online and our office is basically not open, the office is still there, and we still have our books there. We have all of those things there that we still use, we still have, and we still have our expenses. And although our expenses have decreased because of Zoom, we still need your support. And so we appreciate all of the donations and the tithes that we receive, whether it's the automatic giving through the internet, or it's the PayPal tithes, or mailed in tithes to the office at 7350 El Camino, Suite 101. We appreciate all of them more than we can tell you. And one of the wonderful things about all of what's going on is that even though there are some spiritual communities that are having a great deal of financial problem as a result of the shutdown and of COVID, we're in the black. We're in the black for the year, which is quite remarkable and a wonderful thing. And it's because of you, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you more than we can say. Got some cool stuff coming up later this month. November 22nd, Timber Hawkeye is going to be back with us to speak. Timber, with his Buddhist background and wonderful Buddhist teaching, he's so relaxed and laid back, and he just imparts the most beautiful wisdom to us every time he comes. On December 6th, we have some practitioners that are in ministerial training now. And one of them, Delon Richenberg, is going to be speaking on December the 6th. It'll be his first public, if you will, speaking engagement, and we're looking forward to that. Delon has a beautiful spirituality, and as a musician and a creative artist, he has a unique way of looking at things. And so I know it's going to be wonderful, and we're looking forward to it. Jan Lynch has a new book out on, I hope I have this right, Living the Divine Flow of Abundance. And she is going to be speaking December 13th, and she'll be speaking about her book, among other things. So we're looking forward to that. That'll be both of those are wonderful, because it's going to be the first time for both of them. And we know you guys are so loving that you're going to love what they have to say. And we know that they will probably make some mistakes, because the first time we speak, we always do. But we're really looking forward to all of that. And don't forget that if you are in need of prayer for anything, that we are always available. Our soul support team is available 24/7 in spite of not being together. So please, if you are in need of prayer, email us, That's the best way to do it. Email us at our email address, awakeningways@thegrid.net, and put in the subject line prayer request. And we will be more than happy to pray for you for the week. And if you still need more prayer because it's an ongoing problem, let us know and we'll continue with the prayer until such time as you no longer need it. You know, we've had so many wonderful healings in this community, things that just were quite remarkable and just stunned the doctors, for example, that it's a wonderful tribute to the consciousness of this community, and we really appreciate it more than we can say. So with that, I'm going to close, and I'd like you all to join me in a benediction. Benedictions are releasing the energy of the moment and knowing that we go with God, that we go with that divine, infinite spirit that fills all of life with itself. I know that that spirit fills me, and I know it fills each and every person that's been on this call today. And I know that Terry has uplifted us with her words, has brought us to a new understanding and a new appreciation of everything in our lives, even the things that squeak a little bit, that make us uncomfortable. I know for each of us as we go through these coming few days, through this coming week, that the stresses are smoothed out, that the fear is eliminated, and only the love is left behind. I know for each of us as we practice that rampage of appreciation, that we open our hearts and our minds to knowing that we all want the same thing, regardless of what it may look like in the moment. And as we do that, once again, we come together as one nation, indivisible, under God. And we are all so blessed by that. For that, I give thanks, knowing that whatever transpires on this coming Tuesday is divine right action, whether we like it or not, and that we are blessed by it. And in the long run, all things unfold perfectly, beautifully, and in divine timing. We are so blessed. I release, I let go, and I say, and so it is. Amen.